The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
The city of Marietta, Ohio has a history that is deep with riverborne tradition. From being Ohio's first city to its days as a riverboat capital to today's thriving business community, Marietta is rich with culture and commerce. This weekend, its bustling streets are turned into pit road, its river a race course, as the drivers of the Powerboat Superleague descend on this picturesque town. Out of the 36 drivers who have accepted the challenge, who will find victory on the waters of the Ohio? Who will be crowned world champion today in Marietta? The banks of the Ohio River in beautiful Marietta, Ohio. It's Powerboat Superleague's running of the 2008 UIM World Championships here at the Marietta Riverfront Roar. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jared Roomsberg, alongside of my partner Mike Tilton, ready to bring you the action from today's racing. And Mike, it doesn't matter whether we're talking about a hot dog eating contest, a go-kart race, or a tunnel hole powerboat race. You add the title World Championship to any type of race, everybody steps up their game.
Oh, absolutely. Not only do they step up their game, but we've got full fields in both classes. We've got to split the fleets in the heat races just to get to the finals, and the finals are going to be a war. We've got 19 Formula 2s, 17 Formula 3s, and everybody is ready and loaded for bear.
As you said, two types of racing here today, Formula 2 and Formula 3. Let's start off talking about the Formula 3 division. Sam LeBanco Jr. is the defending champion here in Marietta. Can he make it two in a row with a field like this?
Well, I'll tell you what, LeBanco can step up anytime and just run away with it, but you've got a lot of good contenders behind him. You got Tammy Wolf out of Canada. She just recently got married and moved to the United States. She's now Tammy Wolf Jacob, but you've also got guys like Mike Hooper coming out of Canada, coming down this way. He's a top gun in this deal. Jimmy Whittington from Canada, plus you've got Brent Dillard. You know, he's the NCAA basketball player. In the summertime turns powerboat racer, and they call him the vibrant thing, and he's always somebody to watch too.
Formula 2s are racing here today. The only change, the defending champion Paul Pittman has retired. He's at home on a rocking chair on his front porch enjoying a nice cold drink. Who is going to step up and take that top spot of the podium?
Well, you know, Pittman sold his boat. It went to Australia, of all places, so now it's kind of wide open. You've got world-famous Bill May coming out of Tallahassee, Florida. Got a brand-new boat, kind of untested, but he won a race a week ago in High Point, North Carolina, so he's a contender. Rob DeNicolantonio, he's got RDI Interiors boat. He's coming out of Lakeland, Florida. He's a great guy to watch. Donnie McDowell, he was a winner in Peoria already this year. You've got probably, I'd say 5 to 7 guys that could step up and win this thing, but you've also got a longer race, and we're going to get into lap traffic, and you know when that happens, anything can happen.
A lot of stuff going on here today in Marietta. We've got green and checkered coverage. When we come back, it's the Powerboat Superleague's running of the 2008 UIM World Championships here at the Marietta Riverfront Roar right after this.
This presentation of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Marietta Memorial Hospital. Life, community, health, excellence. GoPro Hero Motorsports cameras. Learn more at GoProCamera.com. By the APBA's Outboard Performance Craft category. The APBA's Turn on a Dime category. People's Bank. The right time, the right place. And by the Comfort Inn Marietta, the official lodging provider of the Powerboat Superleague. This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by GoPro Hero Motorsports cameras. Learn more at GoProCamera.com.
Welcome back to Marietta, Ohio for the Powerboat Superleague's running of the 2008 UIM World Championships. Before racing, we determined the starting order with qualifying laps and heat races. In Group A's first heat race, Canadian Mike Hooper was the fast qualifier and started on the pole. On lap 3, teammates Tammy Wolf Jacob in the pink number 8 and Sam Miller were in a spirited battle for the second place spot. But in turns 1 and 2, their battle would boil over as Tammy went airborne right over Sam's cockpit, bringing out the caution. Both drivers were okay. Good luck seeing this kind of sportsmanship in the pits at a stock car race, even among teammates. Mike Hooper's lead was erased on the restart, but he quickly put Gordon Downard and the rest of the field in his wake, winning Group A's first heat race. In the second heat race for Group A, Hooper would start towards the rear, but he quickly shot up to second to challenge leader Gordon Downard. Downard kept Hooper behind him, but with just 2 laps to go, Dan Bunting was in trouble with the Monster Energy Drinks boat upside down in turn 1. Bunting gave the OK sign and was uninjured. His boat, however, would not return. This put Hooper right next to Downard for the restart of what would be a green-white checkered finish. Downard appeared to struggle near the commitment buoy on the start, and Hooper pounced on the chance, taking the lead. He made it a clean sweep as Mike Hooper won both heat races in Formula 3 Group A. The second half of the field was set to qualify in Group B. Last year's winner in Marietta, Sam LeBanco Jr., had the pole, but a false start meant he would have to play catch-up to the rest of the field after the start. Brent Dillard in the orange 80 boat came from the back of the field to challenge Jim Whittington for the lead. With 4 to go, Dillard slid alongside of the number 9 and started a nose-to-nose fight for the front. The two had the crowd on their feet as they came side by side down the front stretch, with Brent Dillard sliding by for the lead. He went on to win the first heat race. The inverted field of heat race 2 put Dillard towards the rear of the field for the start. But he didn't waste any time as he took the lead in the first turn of the race's first lap. It wasn't easy for Dillard. Last year's winner, Sam LeBanco Jr., was lurking in second, waiting for the South Carolinian to make a mistake. He ran a near-perfect race, and Brent Dillard went flag to flag, winning the second heat race in Formula 3 Group B. The top 4 drivers were selected from heats 1 and 2. The remainder of the field would run an LCQ race to finish out the field. While Punta Gorda, Florida's Bill Mastro was the winner of the LCQ round, the real story was with the driver behind the wheel of the 79 boat. Tammy Wolf Jacob was back in the race in a boat borrowed from Scott Whittington. Her boat was too badly damaged from the wreck in the first heat race, but she was back in the fight, qualifying for the feature race. So with qualifying done, let's meet the top 5 qualifiers for the 2008 Formula 3 UIM World Championship races. Qualifying 5th is number 10 from Sparta, Georgia, Chip Wavero. Next, starting 4th, is Portsmouth, Ohio's Gordon Downard in the number 2 boat. Starting 3rd, we find Toronto native Jim Whittington. He knows that it takes more than just a driver's skill to find the winner's circle.
Well, the Polyquest A123 sailboat's running really great. It's going to be rough out there. It's going to take a little bit of luck as well, not just skill today. Our boat's fast. I think if we can get off the dock well, we can definitely hold them off. I think the top 5 or 6 boats get out in front in this kind of rough water. You've got a pretty darn good chance of coming home with the world champ.
Markham, Ontario, Canada's Mike Hooper is starting 2nd. What would a win here in the World Championships mean to him?
It's probably one of my biggest achievements of my racing career, definitely, and it definitely put a big smile on my face.
And on the pole for the Formula 3 World Championships is South Carolina's Brent Dillard. He is anxious to race against his friend Mike Hooper.
So there's Mike Hooper behind me. At the last race in North Carolina, it was reversed. He had the pole and I was second, and now I got the pole and he's second. So we're going to push each other, and we're really good friends, so it's going to be really interesting.
Now let's take a look at the rest of the drivers, starting in the 2008 UIM Formula 3 World Championships. Last year's winner here in Marietta, Sam LeBanco Jr., is starting 6th. Carol Reno from Okeechobee, Florida, captured the 7th place slot in the order. Steve DeNicolantonio qualified the 73 boat in the 8th place position. Starting 9th off the dock is veteran driver number 89, Bill Mastro. Tammy Wolf Jacob borrowed Scott Whittington's boat and earned a top 10 starting slot. Hamilton, Ohio's Dave Hensel will start from the 11th slot off the dock. Toby Hood from McConnellstown, Pennsylvania got the 12th place starting position. And Paul Orchard is the last boat on the dock in the 13th spot. Dan Bunting's boat was among the heat race casualties and will not start in the final. Sam Miller was involved in the wreck with Tammy Wolf Jacob and will not return. That's your starting lineup. We'll drop the green for the Formula 3s in Marietta right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Super League Racing is brought to you by GapGuard.com. If you own a pickup truck, you need to visit GapGuard.com.
Welcome back to Marietta, Ohio for the Powerboat Super League's running of the 2008 UIM World Championships. The fans are making their way from the festival to the riverbanks because the Formula 3 feature is coming up. Let's take another look at the starting lineup for the F3s. Brent Dillard earned the pole position off of the dock. Canadians Mike Hooper and Jim Whittington are right next door. A big story, Tammy Wolf Jacob came back from the heat race wreck to borrow a boat and qualify in the top 10. Dave Hensel, Toby Hood, and Paul Orchard make up the remainder of the field for the Formula 3 World Championship races. Seconds from the start now, fuel pumps on, fingers on the trigger, waiting for the flagman to drop the flag. And we are underway in Marietta as the first half of the field leaves the dock and the melee begins for the whole shot. On board with Gordon Downard in the eye of the storm, inches away from disaster. 80, Brent Dillard takes the lead as the rest of the field dukes it out. Riding with Mark Cooper, Jim Whittington almost takes his nose off and says, "I'll take that lane, thank you." We head down the front stretch to start lap 1 of 20, and Whittington and Lebanco fight for second behind this man, Brent Dillard, who is trying to put some distance between himself and the field while the water is still reasonably smooth. Whittington and Lebanco hit turns 1 and 2 now, with Whittington taking second. But Lebanco is in his hip pocket, trying the outside line down the backstretch. Whittington hits the throttle and stays ahead. Whittington started third, finishing second and fourth in the heat races. And here comes Lebanco on the outside. Through 3 and 4. The two come down the front stretch. Fans still on their feet. Lebanco tries the outside, but Whittington is just too strong in the straightaways. And the Canadian pulls away with the position again. Lebanco tried to make up some ground in the corner. Let's hop on board Jim Whittington's boat. The leader, Brent Dillard, is still within reach as Whittington moves to the outside to pinch off any attack by Sam Lebanco Jr. in third. The vibrant thing, Brent Dillard is trying to lengthen his lead, but Whittington and Lebanco are veteran racers, and they both know that there are plenty of laps left in this race. Back on board with Jim Whittington down the front stretch in front of the thousands that are in attendance today here in Marietta. Here's a battle for position with Steve DeNicolantonio and Carolino. This is for 7th slot in turn 3, and DeNicolantonio has trouble. DeNicolantonio almost rolled in turn 4, and now he's stalled there. No caution from race control. We stay green, and here comes Paul Orchard. Whoa, talk about taking the long way around. Back to our leader who is coming up on this. The 79 is out of the way enough for the field to pass on the inside, not the outside, Mr. Orchard, and continue racing. Lebanco and Whittington are back at it. This time Lebanco is on the inside. But again, Whittington demonstrates some serious horsepower and pulls away down the front stretch and holds on to second. Lebanco's trouble might be from having to use a backup propeller. His main prop for this event was damaged by debris in the water during testing, and this has been a thorn in Lebanco's side all weekend long, and it looks to be costing him precious speed on the straightaways. Whittington riding in second through 3 and 4 now. Lebanco spins! Lebanco spins! Right where DeNicolantonio had trouble, and here comes Mike Cooper to take third. Lebanco did not stall, and he's able to get the boat going, but not before the 52 of Mike Cooper can slide by on the inside and take third from last year's Marietta winner. And the hits just keep on coming for the Illinois driver Lebanco. On board with second place Jim Whittington now as he and the leader Brent Dillard head down the backstretch and into turn 3. Dillard is from Dalzell, South Carolina, and is currently second behind Mike Cooper in the 2008 Powerboat Superleague points. He's looking for his first win here in Marietta, and he may be on his way to it today. Race fans, be sure to visit superleaguemedia.com. You can grab a commemorative DVD of this race, watch this race online, and check out some bonus video like onboards and exclusive driver interviews. That's all at superleaguemedia.com. Dillard continues to stay out in front of the pack that is lined up behind him, trying to create some sort of strategy for racing these waters of the Ohio here in Marietta. Dillard out of 4, and there's the interval between first and second. Jim Whittington is cruising down the front stretch, if you can call it cruising. As you can see, it's not a smooth ride in one of these rocket ships. Just keeping it straight can be a challenge. But Jim Whittington, who has won championships in his homeland of Canada, is up to the task as he and Dillard put some room between. Sam Lebanco is caught up with Mike Cooper in turn 1. Lebanco went wide out of turn 2, and it is paying off as they are about to make a sandwich out of Toby Hood. Hood in the middle. Lebanco to the outside, Hooper to the inside. Look out! Whoa, the two get by and dive into 3. Lebanco surges ahead. Hooper watches the wily veteran Sam Lebanco Jr. solidify his possession of third to the cheers of the thousands on the riverbank. What a recovery from the spin a few laps ago by Lebanco. There's Mike Hooper in fourth. Can he get by Lebanco and the rest? We'll find out as our leader takes us to the break. Dillard, Whittington, Lebanco, Hooper, and Wavero are your top 5. More racing from Marietta right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Super League Racing is brought to you by Marietta Memorial Hospital. Life, community, health, excellence.
Welcome back to the 2008 UIM Formula 3 World Championships here in Marietta, Ohio. We are past the midway point of this race as Brent Dillard has been dominating the field. Jim Whittington is riding along in second behind Dillard, trying to catch up, but Dillard has gotten used to the front spot. He's been there since the green drop, leading every lap of this race. Dillard is looking to take that first place medal back to his hometown of Dalzell, South Carolina, and earn his first win in Super League competition this year. There's last year's winner here in Marietta, Sam Labanco Jr. He's flying in the third place spot. He has been experiencing propeller trouble all weekend long, and it has cost him. He had some bad luck in the earlier laps, spinning and slipping into fourth behind Mike Hooper. But Labanco put the hammer down and got past Hooper for third a few laps later, and that's where he's been ever since. The laps are ticking down here in Marietta as we watch Labanco maneuver by the lapped boat of Tammy Wolf-Jacob. This is Labanco's first race with the Super League in 2008. The Northbrook, Illinois driver is the defending Powerboat Super League points champion and is the defending Formula 3 world champion, winning in Kankakee, Illinois last season. We ride along with our fourth place driver, Mike Hooper. Hooper is the Super League's F3 points leader in 2008. He has had great success in his Canadian homeland. Hooper was the Canadian national champion in 2004. He has improved every year since joining the Super League in 2005. Last season, he finished in the top 10 in points and earned the second place spot behind Labanco here in Marietta. He's gunning for that 44 boat and would like to earn another podium finish, if not a victory, here today. But Hooper will have to get by 3 boats, and we are quickly running out of laps in this 20-lap feature race. Here's our GoPro Hero Motorsports camera shot from the 16 boat of Carol Reno, one of 2 women drivers we have in the field today. You'll see her husband Jeff racing in the upcoming Formula 2 race. And off to the right goes our leader, the vibrant thing, Brent Dillard, as he picks his way through the lap traffic and plunges into turn 1. That's the 6th place boat of Chip Wavero from Sparta, Georgia to the outside. As Dillard hits the throttle and passes Wavero, putting him a lap down, we remind you to check out aprsuperleague.com, the official website of the Powerboat Super League. Want to know more about the drivers, where the Super League's racing next, or maybe you'd like to have the Super League race on your waters? Just click on over to aprsuperleague.com. Brent Dillard is putting on a clinic today, starting on the pole, leading the field off of the dock, and he has not looked back. He has led every lap of this race. Dillard is no stranger to Victory Circle. By the time he hit age 18, the now 22-year-old college student had won 5 APBA national championships and was inducted into the Hall of Champions. Last year, he finished second in the F3 World Championships in Illinois behind Sam Labanco Jr. This young man is really putting on a show today for the fans in Marietta. Dillard hits the gas again out of turn 4 and flies down the front stretch. Coming up alongside of the 5th place boat of Gordon Downard, who is moving to the inside. Let's ride with Gordon Downard as the leader passes. Whoa, Dillard and Downard almost collide. That would have spelled disaster for our leader, Dillard. Wow, that was a close one. Dillard hits the afterburners, putting that scene behind him. After running a race like this, the last thing Dillard wants is to get into a scrap with another boat in the race's final laps. Here comes Brent Dillard down the front stretch. There's Gordon Downard in the 2 boat. He's giving everyone plenty of room as we quickly approach the end of what has been a fantastic race here on the Ohio. Really, we're only halfway done. The Formula 2 World Championship race is coming up right after the completion of this race and the award ceremony. There's the 2nd place boat of Jim Whittington, who has run a solid race today, gaining second off of the dock and holding the position through the entire race thus far. Riding on board with the Toronto native as he comes up on, whoa, look out! Whittington almost gets his nose clipped by Chip Wavero. That's the 2nd near incident in as many laps. These guys are fighting tooth and nail for every inch of real estate on the Liquid Speedway here with 2 laps to go. Sam Labanco Jr. is next, riding in 3rd. He looks like he might be gaining some ground on Whittington as we ride behind him with Carol Reno in turns 1 and 2. As they come out of the turn, Labanco is now just 2 boat lengths away from the 2nd place Whittington. Chip Wavero moves off to the side, giving these 2 plenty of room to fight. Through 3 and 4, 1 lap to go, 1 lap remaining to determine the 2008 Formula 3 World Champion. Whittington puts some distance between himself and Labanco down the front stretch. He's not taking any chances. Here's the leader, Brent Dillard. He's already on the back stretch, looking to complete a day of fantastic racing. And The leader is slowed. The leader is slowed. Brent Dillard is limping on the backstretch on the final lap. The engine's still running, but it's not at 100%, and he looks to be struggling to keep the boat moving forward. The finish line is only a quarter of a lap away, and Whittington and LeBanco are swooping in the backstretch. Can he make it? Here come Whittington and LeBanco through the final turn. It's going to be a 3-wide drag race for the World Championship. Dillard on the outside. Whittington. Here comes Sam LeBanco on the inside. To the finish. Jim Whittington is your winner. Jim Whittington is the world champion. Sam LeBanco takes second. Oh my, you gotta feel for him. Brent Dillard takes third. Dillard led 19.99 laps, but it was that .01 that counts, and the F3 World Championship goes to Canada. There you can see how close it was with Whittington crossing and LeBanco on the far left of the screen, finishing only a few feet ahead of Dillard. Now you get to ride on board with the world champion. There's Dillard off to the right, and here comes Whittington, snatching victory from the hands of the Vibrant Thing. Jim Whittington is your world champ in the Formula 3s. We'll catch up with him and the other podium finishers once we all regain our composure and go to the Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 post-race show here at the Marietta Riverfront Roar right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by the Comfort Inn Marietta, the official lodging provider of the Powerboat Superleague.
Welcome back to Marietta, Ohio for the Powerboat Superleague's post-race show for a thrilling Formula 3 World Championship. Jim Whittington only led about 100 feet of the race, but that's all he needed to capture the World Championship. Mike Tilton has a very disappointed Brent Dillard. Mike.
Brent Dillard, I tell you what, you ran 19 laps out there in that number 1 spot. Then the motor went away on you there, and you were able to gather up for a third-place finish. Kind of a disappointing third place. I know you wanted that World Championship bad.
Yes, I really wanted this one. This was a special one to me because this is a world championship and it also was an APR race, and I've never won an APR race on the race course. So it was getting 2 wins for the first time in one race, and it would have been really special. Oh yeah, I'll definitely be back to try to do it again. Hopefully I can finish all 20 laps.
Well, congratulations on the third place finish anyway.
Thank you.
Disappointing indeed for Dillard, who led from the pole for the first 19.99 laps of the race, had to settle for third. Mike Hooper and Gordon Downard make up the remainder of the top 5. There you see the rest of the field. Mike is ready with a very surprise second-place finisher. Mike.
Sam LeBanco, you came from 6th spot on the dock, and I had you all the way up to 3rd. Then all of a sudden, you got a Christmas gift for 2nd there.
Well, I certainly did. It was pretty tough to get up to 3rd, and then when that happened, it was tough for Dillard, but I'll take it. I hate to get him that way, but we worked pretty hard to get where we were, so we took it.
Here are the Powerboat Superleague point standings after Marietta. Mike Hooper stays on top, just 15 points away from second-place Brent Dillard. Here's Mike.
Standing here with the brand new 2008 UIM World Champion Jim Whittington out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Jim, you started 3rd on the dock, weaved your way through lots of lap traffic, and all of a sudden coming out of turn number 4 in lap 20, what did you think? You really had a shot at the World Championship.
Yeah, we got a great start off the dock. That was the plan. We were on a punch wheel, and it really got us off the dock well. A little bounce off Downard, and we were into 2nd place. And we were duking it out pretty good with Brent there for a while, and I got hung up in some lap traffic. I thought it was completely over then, and then I come out of the corner, and there's poor Brent. You feel terrible for him. His motor let go just at that point, and next thing you know, we got the lead. And my dad just started yelling on the radio, "You're in first! You're in first!" And it was just an amazing feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what, got a long ride home back to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, but I think it's going to be a smile all the way back.
Oh yeah, it'll be something good to declare as you cross the border. No, it feels great. I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into winning any race, let alone a world championship. And we've worked really hard, had a lot of bad breaks along the way, but this has just been fantastic.
Congratulations to Jim Whittington, the 2008 Formula 3 World Champ. We're only halfway there, race fans. The Formula 2 racing is coming up right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by the APBA's Outboard Performance Craft category, the APBA's Turn on a Dime category.
Welcome back to Marietta, Ohio, where we're being treated to some fantastic aerial coverage provided by Parkersburg Jet Center. Our videographer Tom Graham getting some great shots of downtown Marietta as we're getting ready for the Formula 2 World Championships. If they're anything like the Formula 3s, we are in for quite a show. Formula 2 qualifying is just like the Formula 3s, except they run 15 lap heat races instead of 10. In Group A, Rob DiNicolantonio earned the pole position and led the fleet off the dock at the start. Donnie Lick in the red 11 boat was lurking in the second place spot, trying to work through the lapped boats to catch up to the 33. But he was just too strong, and Rob DiNicolantonio went flag to flag, taking the win in Heat Race 1. In the second heat race in Group A, the field was inverted, and number 2, Lee Daniel, found himself ahead of the pack, with Del Book and Donnie McDowell coming on strong. A few laps in, McDowell made a move for the lead, but Daniel found an extra gear and pulled away. At the race's midway point, Daniel came under attack from number 11, Donnie Lick. But Lick got held up in turn 2, bringing a third place Rob DiNicolantonio to his back door. With 3 to go, the top 3 went into turn 2 again. This time, Lick almost went over, and DiNicolantonio sprung into the second place spot. Turn 2 was a factor again. On the last lap, Daniel struggled there, and DiNicolantonio moved alongside to fight for the lead. He almost went airborne as he moved to the front. Rob DiNicolantonio made it a clean sweep, winning both heat races in Group A. In Group B's first heat race, Jay Fox from Bay City, Michigan had the pole and led the early laps. But on lap 4, he would pull off of the course with mechanical problems, surrendering the lead to 71 Bill May. With 5 to go, the silver 34 of Jeff Reno moved past Mark Jacob for the second place spot. But no one could touch the Cuzzies Key West Sauces boat as Bill May took the victory in Heat Race 1. In Group B's second heat race, 25, Barry Wolf had the pole. But it was the 81 of Don Truskowski who emerged from the hole shot with the top spot. 9, Johnny Fleming tried all race to get ahead, but he would play second fiddle to the 81. It was stars and stripes forever as Don Truskowski led flag to flag and took home the win in the second heat race. After the last chance qualifier, the field was set. Let's meet the top 5 qualifiers. Powerboat Superleague Formula 2 points leader Donnie McDowell starts 5th. Starting in 4th is the Spirit of America, piloted by Don Truskowski. The third place qualifier is Hastings, Minnesota's Donnie Lick. He's happy with his starting position, but is ready to move up through the field.
I got somebody working on a prop right now that we wanted to run, so we had to put a second prop on her, and he's over there beating on it right now as we speak. So we got a little something more for the boys. Hopefully we take care of business tomorrow.
Lining up second is Bill May from Tallahassee, Florida. What will he have to do to move up from second to first with such a competitive field of drivers?
Well, one thing we're going to have to do is repair our gear case. We hit something out there in the river, and that obviously cost us at least a second, I'd like to think. But we'll just have to tune up. We can lean on the motor a little more. We were pretty conservative today in our setup, just trying to get through today.
And starting on the pole for the 2008 Formula 2 World Championships is Lakeland, Florida's Rob DiNicolantonio.
It was good. I didn't realize we were where we were. I thought we were actually fighting for third place. My radio guy told me we had 3 laps to go. We'll catch him. And then he came back on the radio and said, we better do it in this lap because we're at the white lap.
Now let's take a look at the remainder of the starting field of Formula 2 boats here at the 2008 UIM World Championship. Starting 6th is Okeechobee, Florida's Jeff Reno in the 34 boat. In 7th, we find General Lee Daniel from North Augusta, South Carolina. Johnny Fleming from Woodlands, Texas will start in the 8th slot. Starting 9th and currently 4th in points is Mark Jacob from Clifton, Illinois. 2nd in points and rounding out the top 10 qualifiers is Kelly Kidwell from Troy, Missouri. Brian Burkhardt from Rockledge, Florida placed the BB Racing entry in 11th. Portsmouth, Ohio's Del Book will start the number 18 boat in the 12th slot. Latvian and sole European representative Uvis Lakaris will start in 13th. Representing Bay City, Michigan, it's Jay Fox in the Prime Brothers entry in 14th. Howie Nichols from Cocoa, Florida will start the race in the 15th slot. Next, it's the Ice Cream Man, George Galloway from Bristol, Tennessee, in the 16th position. In the 17th slot is Casey Boaz. The 18th slot is occupied by a Buckeye, Barry Wolf from Troy, Ohio. And in the final slot, it's Jerry Gwynn representing Shawnee High School in Stout, Ohio. That's your starting lineup for the 2008 World Championships here in Marietta. It's time to grab a drink, grab a friend, grab a flotation device, because we've got Formula 2 World Championship racing right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Super League Racing is brought to you by RMG's Real Estate Marketing Services. Learn more at rmgtv.us.
We are back in Marietta, Ohio, approaching the start of the Formula 2 World Championship. NASCAR fans have RVs, Super League fans have pleasure boats, and they are lining the backstretch here on the Ohio River. The fans are ready and waiting for the start of the F2 race coming up. First, let's take a look at how they'll line up. Rob DiNicolantonio heads a field dominated by the United States. Teams from the UK, Qatar, and as far away as Australia were ready to come to Ohio for the race, but travel costs kept them at home. Latvian Uvis Slakteris made the journey from Europe, and he will start in the 13th slot of this 19-boat field ready to launch. Seconds from the green now, cockpit doors lowered, foot above the throttle, fingers on the starter, all eyes on the flagman as we await the drop of the green. And the Formula 2s are underway in Marietta. Rob DiNicolantonio had a bad start, and our pole sitter is being left behind by Bill May and the other front runners. Like motocross, a good hole shot on the start is essential to success, and DiNicolantonio did not get off the dock. Lick and Jacob are fighting to catch up with DiNicolantonio as we go into turn 3. We ride along with Donnie Lick, and you will see Bill May in front. Donnie Lick and Mark Jacob are coming on strong on the outside of the 33. We come down the front stretch to start the lap counter on this 30-lap feature race, and there is world-famous Bill May leading the way. There's a 3-wide battle for second with DiNicolantonio on the inside of Donnie Lick and Mark Jacob. DiNicolantonio holds the position by a boat length down the backstretch. They're all trying to catch Bill May as he is hitting the afterburners, trying to gain some ground ahead of the field here in the opening laps. Back aboard with third place Donnie Lick, who has Mark Jacob in his right rear pocket. Into turn 3, a little spray from the 33 boat. Mark Jacob moves to the inside for third, but Lick simply outpowers him as they come down the front stretch to start lap 2 of this 30-lap World Championship race. Race fans, you think this looks easy? Well, let's take a nice, leisurely ride with Jeff Reno as he starts the race with our GoPro Hero Motorsports camera. Did I mention that was all at well over 100 miles per hour? Sorry, hope we didn't damage your TV there. There's the leader, Bill May, who is riding way out in front. You can see how fast he hits the turns. These drivers can experience over 4 G's of force when turning on this course. This is more than what NASCAR drivers experience, and is comparable to what IndyCar drivers feel on the larger tracks like Indianapolis. And it's all on a constantly changing race surface. There's second place, Rob DiNicolantonio. He had great success in qualifying, but he was a little slow on the trigger at the start, and in a blink, he's playing catch-up to Bill May. There's the 11 boat of Donnie Lick in third place. He's had to keep one eye up front and one eye in the mirror because Mark Jacob and others are gunning for a podium position here today in the World Championships. This is Lick's first race with the Powerboat Superleague in 2008. He earned Rookie of the Year honors last season and finished 5th in overall points in Superleague's F2 Series. 2 years ago, he was a Superleague's Formula 3 Series champion. So victory is a familiar experience for this Hastings, Minnesota driver. Race fans, don't forget, for more information about the Powerboat Superleague, visit aprsuperleague.com. For driver profiles, a complete schedule, or if you'd like to have the Superleague race in your town, click on over to aprsuperleague.com, the official website of the Powerboat Superleague. There's the interval between the top 3, and whoa! Donnie Lick took turn 2 wide, and here comes Mark Jacob on the inside. Jacob pushes the throttle through the floor and moves alongside of the 11 for third. We hop on board with Lick as we see the red 7 of Mark Jacob move ahead for position as we go into turns 3 and 4. Lick tries to stay in the clean water, and that forces him wide again, and Mark Jacob earns the 3rd place position. This is Mark Jacob's first year of racing in a Formula 2 boat. He came out of retirement in 2006 to finish 3rd in the F3 Series. Last season he finished 5th in the F3s and is looking pretty good behind the wheel of the bigger F2 boat today. These Formula 2 boats can reach speeds in excess of 120 miles per hour. At their top speed, only about a foot or so of the boat is actually in the water. More boat in the water means more drag. More drag means less speed. These drivers have to toe the line. Too much boat out of the water and you run the risk of blowing over. The wind will catch the front of the boat and simply flip the boat right over, causing catastrophe on the race course. Let's hope we don't see any of that here today. Here's another battle shaping up. Jay Fox has a run on Johnny Fleming for 5th, coming down the front stretch, fighting it out in front of the thousands on the riverbanks. Coming up on turn 1, and it's Jay Fox taking the position. The amazing thing, race fans, Jay Fox started 14th off the dock. Fox is now 5th. Fox is from Bay City, Michigan, where they know a thing or two about boat racing. That is one of the most historic race courses in North America, and the tradition is showing through today with this young driver. There's Bill May continuing his dominant run. He's coming into lap traffic now, making things very interesting. May has been racing for over 17 years. His first win with the Super League was in 1996 in Huntington, West Virginia. Rob DeNicolantonio is pushing hard, trying to make up some ground as the leader is weaving his way past the lapped boats in the early stages of this event. Slowing down to around 80 miles per hour in the turn, out of the throttle, pressing to the right of the cockpit and back into the gas down the front stretch. We ride along with DeNicolantonio out to a commercial break. Bill May, Rob DeNicolantonio, Mark Jacob, Donnie Lick, and Jay Fox are your top 5. More Powerboat Superleague Formula 2 racing from Marietta coming up right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by People's Bank. The right time, the right place.
Welcome back to the Formula 2 World Championships. Our leader, number 71, Bill May, has led every lap of this race thus far. This man, Rob DeNicolantonio, stumbled at the start, and he's been lurking in May's wake in second ever since. You can see May is not too far ahead. DeNicolantonio has stayed within 4 or 5 boat lengths for a good portion of this race and is hoping for a mistake by the leader to help him make up for some lost time. There's Jay Fox, who has moved up to 3rd. Donnie Lick had some mechanical trouble and had to retire from the race. Fox got by Mark Jacob for 3rd at the race's midway point. Fox started all the way back in 14th and is looking to finish an awesome day of racing on the podium. Talking about our race leader, Bill May, he has his boat designer, Gary Pugh, working in his pit box this weekend. Pugh is one of the most respected men in boat racing, both as a boat builder and as a boat racer. So May certainly has some additional experience working for him here in the World Championships in Marietta, Ohio. Here's an interesting view from aboard our sole European representative, Latvian Uvis Slakteris. Yet another example of how rough it gets out there on the race course. Uvis commented to me before the race about the hospitality he's received here in the States and what a great time he's having with the Super League in Marietta. We hope to see him back racing with us again soon. We catch up with our race leader, Bill May, sliding his way through the traffic here in the final laps. That's Jeff Reno in the 34 boat about to go a lap down. Rob DeNicolantonio is looking to make this an interesting last couple of laps. You can see he's really trying to put the hammer down. Here's 4th place Mark Jacob. As I said before, this is Jacob's first season of racing the Formula 2 boat with the Super League. He has finished in the top 5 in the Formula 3 series, but stepped up to the bigger boats this season and is doing well. Here's our leader again, coming through turns 1 and 2 already. Lots of rough water, and he got a little out of shape there. Could this be the door DeNicolantonio needed to have open? May got it back in line and hit the gas. No chance for DeNicolantonio to make up any time here with 6 laps remaining in the Formula 2 World Championship. May in 3 and 4 now, letting the lap traffic move ahead and out of the way. He takes the inside groove while Barry Wolf and Brian Burkhart move to the outside, bringing up 5 laps remaining. Bill May has put on a show here today, but you know he has to be thinking about the finish of the Formula 3 race. Brent Dillard led 19.99 laps of that race, only to have his motor go out with about 50 feet to go. May isn't taking any chances. He wants to be as far ahead of the 33 as possible when the checker flies. There's the interval between 1st and 2nd. Rob DeNicolantonio has run a stellar race as well. His only black mark was the start off the dock. May beat him to the commitment buoy, and he hasn't looked back. I stopped by Rob's trailer in the paddock after qualifying and noticed the Marine Corps banner hanging proudly there. Rob is a Marine veteran like myself. In fact, I learned that we served in the same unit, the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit. He was there a few years before me, but we had similar stories. Always great to meet a fellow Marine, especially in the motorsports community. Rob told me he worked with the Air Wing and Harrier jump jets, so he's used to being around things that are loud and fast. The Nickel Antonio has been racing for 8 years now. He started with the smaller SST 45 boats. Last season was his first season with the Super League, where he finished in the top 15 in points in season's end. With 3 to go now, Bill May continues to hold the lead in the Cuzzies Key West Sauces boat. He's getting by the lap number 8 of Casey Boaz now. May is the 1999 Super League Formula 2 Series champ. Later that year, he was inducted into the APBA's Hall of Champions. Today, he's looking to add the medal and title of World Champion to his already impressive resume. Race fans, be sure to stop by superleaguemedia.com. You can watch this race online, catch some cool bonus features, watch more driver interviews, and even order a DVD of this race. Just stop by superleaguemedia.com. 2 laps to go. There's second place Rob the Nickel Antonio moving through the lapped boats, hoping for some sort of window of opportunity to open to let him get closer to the 71. He's got the throttle pushed through the floor, trying to make up some time, but we are running out of laps here in Ohio, and Bill May can almost feel that championship medal hanging around his neck. Less than 2 laps from now, and we will crown a world champion for 2008, and the Nickel Antonio is hoping for some sort of miracle. Bill May had a rough time in turn 4 there, and it looks like the Nickel Antonio is shortened the 71's lead. He's moved to within 3 boat lengths with 1 lap to go. May's heart rate had to jump there. I'm sure he knows the 33 is ready and willing to take the win if May makes any mistake at all with less than a lap remaining. May's on the backstretch and he's turned on the afterburners. That's 4th place Mark Jacob going a lap down. Less than a quarter mile to go, and Nickel Antonio has only 2 more turns to try to make up any ground, and he's not going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2008 UIM World Champion from Tallahassee, Florida, Bill May. Rob the Nickel Antonio finishes second. The 3rd step on the podium goes to Jay Fox in the 19. We'll catch up with our podium finishers for their comments when we come back to Marietta right after this.
This presentation of Powerboat Superleague Racing was brought to you by Marietta Memorial Hospital. Life, community, health, excellence. GoPro Hero Motorsports cameras. Learn more at goprocamera.com. By the APBA's Outboard Performance Craft category. The APBA's Turn on a Dime category. People's Bank. The right time, the right place. And by the Comfort Inn Marietta, the official lodging provider of the Powerboat Superleague.
Welcome back to Marietta, Ohio, as we wrap our coverage up with the Formula 2 post-race show. Here's a glance at the top 10. Bill May is your F2 World Champion, with Rob the Nickel Antonio coming in second. Mike Tilton has caught up with our 3rd place finisher. Mike.
Jay Fox coming off 14th on the dock all the way up to 3rd. It's a pretty good day. Boy, if you'd have come off maybe 3rd or 4th, would have been a different story out there.
Yep, I would have loved to come off right behind those guys and see what I could have given them, but 14th to 3rd out here on the rough Marietta River with 19 other boats for the World Championships, I'll have to take it.
Not a bad day's work indeed for the Bay City, Michigan native. Mark Jacob had a great day, finishing 4th, with Texan Johnny Fleming rounding out the top 5 F2 finishers. Mike is waiting with our 2nd place finisher of the day, Rob the Nickel Antonio. Mike.
I tell you what, that number 71 was just, once he got away from everybody, he ran away. But you had some tough competitors just to hold on. That 2nd place was a pretty good job.
Yeah, we did good. We kept up with Bill. Our strategy was if Bill got in front of us, if we kept up with him, we figured we'd stay in 2nd place because Bill's fast. Keep up with him. We knew Jay was going to be coming from behind. Guys on the dock told me he's starting like 14th or 15th. Don't worry about him. And I said, you guys don't know who Jay Fox is.
Yeah, that's about right. But congratulations to you. 2nd place in the World Championships. Not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Thank you very much.
While the Nickel Antonio was a good sport, you couldn't help but hear the disappointment in his voice. Now, Mike is ready and waiting with our champion. Mike, take it away.
Bill May, it's a proud thing for me to call you the 2008 UIM World Champion. Had a good run. That number 33, Rob the Nickel Antonio, stumbled off the dock, but after that, you were a gone pecan.
I asked for a little luck and talent, and I got that. I don't know what about talent, but yeah, I hate it for him. And he never gave up. You know, he was right there all the time. Tough race, tough bunch of competitors. It was nice to pull it off in front of this many boats. What a beautiful place. Obviously a memory of a lifetime.
Let's take a look at the Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 points. After 3 races, Donnie McDowell remains in the catbird's seat. His 8th place finish today was a help. Bill May's win vaulted him from the 6th place position to just 64 points back in 2nd. Well, it was a great weekend of boat racing filled with thrills and spills. Over 3 dozen drivers came to race, only 2 walked away as champions. Everyone had to deal with some stiff competition on the Ohio. Some saw victory slip away in the closing seconds of the race. Others missed their shot from the start and simply could not catch up. On behalf of Mike Tilton and the award-winning production crew, I'm Jared Romsberg. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Marietta. Until next time, race fans, we'll see you on the water.